Good evening and welcome. My name is Bonnie Barnes, and we are here this evening to share with you how to start up and start right your own small business. I am here today with Nancy Hull, and I'm Bonnie Barnes, and we are market growth specialists here in the Florida Keys. And our job today is to help you see what it's like and what it takes to start a business. A little bit about myself. I have owned businesses for over 30 years, two separate ones, one for 10 years, one for 14, and been a nonprofit for over 20 years. And so I got a lot of experience in helping people get their businesses started. And I've done a lot of things the wrong way. So it's nice to be able to try and figure out how to do it the right way.
Okay, hi, I'm Nancy Hull. I'll be here with Bonnie today talking about how to start up and start right. My background primarily is in financial services. So I've had a 20 plus year career in financial services, ranging from private equity, investment banking. I was an analyst as well as a director of research. So I have worked a lot with business models and financial models. So what I try to help clients with is understanding the finances of their business and turning the kind of mining those finances for actionable insights on how to grow their business and achieve the goals that they've set for their particular small business. So a little bit about the sort of services we provide at the Small Business Development Center. Well, there are really three core areas that we bring to you. One is the major area is one-on-one business consulting. So that really the areas that we assist with run the gamut from startup assistance, which is what we're talking about today, to assisting businesses that have been in existence for many years with access to capital, financial management, international trade development, just overall growth plans, and some government contracting. So really, A to Z, whatever you need types of assistance for your small business. In addition to that consulting, one-on-one consulting services, we also have a breadth of research that we can tap you into. We have some great resources for information on market research, customer data, what have you. And then third, we also do training and workshops like we're doing today. You can join us live as you're doing now, or you can find us, we will post these on the web for future viewing. So why do we do this? Why are we here to provide you, no cost consulting for your small medium business? It's really because that is the lifeblood of our economy. So by helping aspiring entrepreneurs and existing businesses to launch and grow, we increase revenue, we increase the tax base, we increase jobs. So by priming the pump, as it were, is helpful for everyone. So we're really here for an economic development reason. I will just throw a little disclaimer in here. We're going to talk about start up and start right today, how to bring your business to your business idea to fruition. We can help you with very many aspects of that. But with the caveat that we are not a legal team, nor are we an accountant tax related team. So that those people should also be your advisory board, so to speak, to help you launch your new business. So you've met Bonnie and myself within our Keys community, Florida Keys community. We also have two other consultants, Christine Chaluka and Anna Cisneros, who we each have different areas of skill sets that we help our clients with. If you are local to the Keys, you can come visit Bonnie or myself. We have library hours, office hours in the library. Bonnie's in Key Largo Library every Wednesday from 2 to 5, and I'm in the Isla Mirada Library every Tuesday from 9 to 1. You can pop in and see us. Ideally, please, pre-register to do that. There's a QR code here on your screen that can bring you to the site where you can register for, again, no cost consulting services. Okay, so just a little more high level information about the Small Business Development Center network. We are a part of a large national organization with 1,000 offices nationwide. The SBDC is a cooperative agreement with the Small Business Administration. We work with them closely to help small businesses. So we are just one of many offices throughout the country that can assist you. And we are one of many offices in Florida. So we are part of the SBDC network out of FIU. There are 9 regional centers. Each of those centers is paired with a university. Within those centers, there's 40 different offices. We launched here in the Keys in October of 2018. This slide here shows you the impact that we have had since from October 18th through December of 2023. I think it's important to note that along with the funding, we are held accountable to very important impact metrics. So we are monitored by how many consulting hours we deliver to small businesses, how many businesses we have assisted, how many new businesses we have helped launch, how much access to capital. So those metrics are followed very closely. And I think, just as a taxpayer myself, I care that the money that we receive through funding is accounted for, and our effort is tied to actionable results. So I introduced you in a prior slide to the 4 consultants in the Keys. This is our full team. The rest of us that are up in Miami-Dade, we all have very different skill sets, complementary skill sets. So if there's something that Bonnie or I maybe is not in our wheelhouse to help you with, we certainly have someone on board that can assist you. Again, each of these persons is very specialized and here to help you, grow your business and achieve your small business goals. I touched on the fact that we are a little bit specialized. We have another section of our work called Apex, which is focused just on government consulting or government contracting, excuse me. So that's a very specialized area that we can also assist you with. So with that, I turn it over to Bonnie.
Oh, okay. You are on this call because you want to start a business, and that would make you an entrepreneur. So what is an entrepreneur? It's somebody who wants to set up their business, and you're going to be taking on financial risk in the hope of making a profit. So by definition, you are a risk taker. So part of our presentation is to help you take that risk, but make it more of a calculated risk. We want you to do it right. And that's our job, is to help you understand the nuances so that you don't have to be subjected to doing it the wrong way. You don't have to create a new product or service from scratch. Some of these companies that I'm pointing out here actually just improved upon a product. If you think about it, our traditional bookstores are fading into the past. You can get your books on audio now. You can subscribe to them. You can read them from the library and check them out. Shoes, Nike now creates an even better tennis shoe. So they are changing constantly, but it's not a new product. It's just in what are the materials and what makes it special. Everything from Apple, your traditional old phones, down to the brand new iPhones and all the new technology. It's not about always creating something new. It's about making it better. some of the benefits to this concept. If you think about Netflix, you used to start with the old 8-track tapes, then you went into the DVDs and the discs, CDs, and now it's all online. You stream it live. That allows for lower costs. They're no longer mailing these things through the mail. And since it's an existing market, you can look at your competitors' weaknesses and opportunities to market to be competitively advantaged. Do you have a business that might disrupt the marketplace? A paradigm shift can do that. And each one of these that are shown here, OpenAI, Amazon, all created a market shift that disrupted the prior way people did business. So there are 4 key steps to starting up right. You've got an idea. Okay, we all have ideas, but what makes your idea better than the rest and what makes it actionable? It's planning. It's looking at it and studying it and learning the best way to present it, the best way to develop a plan around it, and moving that plan forward. Once you put your plan together, be it a business plan, an actionable way of doing it, then of course you need money. Not everybody has money just sitting there. So if you put your plan together correctly, then you've taken into consideration how much money you want to put into it, how much money you'd like others to invest in it, and how to make it work. And then finally comes that launch, when you bring it live and go out and sell and make your business a reality. That's what this is all about, and doing it right. If you want to turn your idea into a successful business, you have to do the planning. We've said it just then, we mean it. You've got to learn to understand your market, do the research, the kind of things that we have the tools to help you with. What is your competition? How many ice cream shops sit in Key West? How many car washes are there available? You need to know what your competition is in order to understand where you should put your business, what kind of a business that you should do, what is your competition, where should your price point be? All of these things enter into your planning phase. Then you want to develop your business model. How are you going to bring it to market? What do you want to do? How are you going to make yourself different and stand out? The differentiation and bringing that product and building that model of how you want to package it, how you want to present it. Is it going to be online? Is it going to be a retail store? Is it going to be a service business? All of these things are involved in the model that you need to put together. And creating a business plan. That's vitally important. There you're giving your summary statement, you're building your mission, vision, goals, you're doing what is known as a SWOT analysis, your strengths that make you different, your opportunities, your threats. And these are the things that help you stand out and make your business successful from the start, is by taking into consideration all of these things before you jump in. Back to understanding your market. What is the demand for the product? If you're putting in an ice cream store and there are 4 within a 5-block radius, how high is your demand going to be? What is going to be your market competition? What are the economic indicators? Are we in a time where buying ice cream rather than going to the grocery store is the right thing to do? Or is it where people are cutting back? Your market size, how many people can use your product? How are you going to market it? And what audience are you going after? Location. That can be everything, but if it's a service business, it might be irrelevant. And then your price point. Are you creating a better widget that's worth more, will save them time and money, and it's a value at the price that you're offering it for? Those are all important things you need to consider when pricing your products. So there's one thing that's really important. If you want to give your customers what they want, you need to do it when and where they want it. So these things are really important. Our Florida Keys really changed during COVID. We had an increase in visitors, an increase in traffic, an increased demand for services. We were the one place in the country everybody wanted to go and party. This was really important, and to understand that. So of course you had rising prices, lack of services, the inability to service properly and enough staffing to handle all of these needs. Those created problems for the people who did visit and for the people who actually lived here and were trying to service the people. Delivery services, those also increased when we went through COVID. People didn't want to leave their homes. So restaurant delivery services, grocery stores, and pharmacies all became important in offering the service to have it brought to you rather than you going into the store. Currently, our current tourist attractions and the housing are in high demand even still. So if anybody builds it, they will come. And it's a seller's market right now and a buyer's market as well, because you cannot get enough of it and there's still lines waiting. Back to research. It is important to understand when you're looking at your business. There are many public databases available to you. The Census Bureau can tell you, what kind of populations, the Federal Reserve, the Department of Labor, all of these things can assist you. And then we can assist you with information that's specific to your industry. And here are some of the websites that you can go to and get some of this information. And from idea to opportunity, your idea is only a good opportunity if it fills a customer's need, which is that market need. You have the skills, experience, and resources to start and grow that business. That is whether it's scalable or not. Can you go from one person, one employee to a large company, or will it not manage more than 2 to 3 people in the lifetime of the company? Whether you can sell the product or at a reasonable price and still make a profit. So you have to be profitable, or you're just creating another widget out there. And if it isn't profitable, you're not going to be sustainable long. Getting your product to the customers before the window of opportunity closes. Right now, we are going into our slower season in the Florida Keys. The window of opportunity for some of our businesses, a lot of them will literally close during September because they know that people will not be here. So learning this about the industry and the area that you're serving is vitally important to your business. And is your business going to be sustainable? If you were in the Northeast and you were creating the ice cream shop, what are you going to do in the winter months? Do you think people still want to go out and buy ice cream? How do you make it sustainable? Do you change your products? Do you offer a variety? All of these things go into play.
Okay, so Bonnie touched on a lot of important things there that go into your thoughts as an entrepreneur of what type of business you want to start. So once you've kind of gone through the items that Bonnie mentioned, sort of thrown that together, what you need to do is develop a business model. Now, a business model is different than a business plan. You can't have a plan without a model. The business model is defining how you create, deliver, and capture value. So 2 key elements of the business model include your value proposition and your go-to-market strategy. Those are kind of business buzzwords that might not mean a whole lot to people that I guess haven't used them a lot. So I think an example will be helpful here. So if you look at, say, Keebler cookies and Girl Scouts, right? So at the end of the day, they're still selling, primarily they're cookie salesmen, right? But they have extremely different business models. So, Keebler is your traditional business model. They're in Publix, they, package, ship, put in a grocery store, and there you go. Girl Scouts they sell cookies, but the business model is extremely different. Their go-to-market strategy is extremely different. So I point this out to say, it's not just it's not having a successful business isn't just about having the better mousetrap. It's not about the service that you're creating, or not just about the service that you're creating, or just about the product you're creating. It's the business model. How are you going to extract value from that product? Why is a customer going to want it? And how, at the end of the day, are you going to be profitable based on the value proposition that you are bringing to your customer? So you want to develop this business model, you think about your go-to-market strategy. So it's your step-by-step roadmap for your products and services. So again, we'll use the Keebler Girl Scout analogy here. Their go-to-market strategy, same product at the end of the day, essentially. I mean, you could argue that, but pretty much they're, cookies. Their go-to-market strategies are very different. How are you going to get to product? How are you going to appeal to customers? So it's not just, again, it's not just about that end product or end service. How are you going to bring that to people? How are you going to market it? What are those channels that you're going to use? So that's a lot to think about. There are important resources that can help you with that process. Obviously, we can facilitate that with you and kind of walk you through all the things that you need to think about to understand really what is my business model that I'm going to surround this product or service with. And then we can also point you to these resources here that we've listed in the presentation are all, tried and true. We've go through them with our clients, so they can be very helpful as well.
So I get to come back and share business planning 101 with you. Many entrepreneurs lose track when it comes to drafting that business idea into a business plan. So after you're done with the business model, now we want to turn it into a document that can be used. It is not a document that you create once and put it on a shelf. It is a live, living, breathing document that you want to consistently update and use it to help guide you as you plan your business and implement your plan. So understanding this business plan forces you to be specific about what you're going to offer. It forces you to think, to document, and to organize your thoughts into a plan of action that can be executed on. And if you need funding to do your business model, it's absolutely essential and practically mandatory for talking to a banker or an investor. So I want you not to think about this delaying your opportunity to move forward. It is something you can work on. It's easy to build upon, and we have all of the templates and tools to help make it even easier for you to focus on a section at a time, as we can help you walk through putting it together and making it the best it can be. So let's focus on how you can get the idea out of your head and onto the page. One of the tools that is actually an organizing tool before a business plan is something known as a business model canvas, where I call it just buckets, where you just start dropping those ideas into the various different sections. And by doing that, it helps you organize your thoughts. This one pager does not replace your business plan, but helps you with putting those ideas onto paper and getting your thoughts in order. A lot of us are trying to do 20 things at once. When I go and I try and fill out one of these, trying to help somebody, I'm jumping all over the board, writing in this box, which one does it go in? Oh, it goes in this one. And trying to capture those thoughts and put them into some sense of order. And we've actually put into the chat some resources for you for these business models. And by the way, at the bottom of your chat, if you just hit save, it will save all of this when you're done today, to where you've got all these links right in front of you. So let's switch slides and go to the next one. Here's the resources she's just dropped into the chat. So, yes, so it's very, very helpful. Writing a business plan. When you're ready to write it, you have to understand that it is has to be tailored to your audience. So if you're taking it to the bank or if you're just using it for yourselves, all of these things will have similar elements. But if you're not a Fortune 500 company, you don't have to be as technical. It can be much less complex and much less friendly or writing. The last piece that you're going to write on a business plan is the most important, and that is what is the first page. So I recommend that you ignore that first page and start drawing and putting your things in order. That when you're done, now you've got the entire business plan to look at, and then you go back and write your executive summary, because that's where you want to use very specific language, very tight language, and very descriptive language to summarize everything that's within your plan. And what you will find is the bankers and the people who are interested in your business, it's the first thing they want to read. And it's probably on some of them, the only thing they're going to read. So it has to be the most important piece, which is why you want to wait till you're done figuring out what you're doing before you write it, because it may change 6 times by the time you're done doing the rest of the exercises. And we have a lot of resources again for you on writing business plans. And we will sit there and help you through this. I will tell you that we will never write a business plan for you, because one that is written by somebody else is not a good plan for you. You need to be vested in this and spend the time working on it.
Okay, so now that you've gone through those key steps of sorting out what your business model is, transitioning that into a workable business plan that's on paper. You need to think about how are you going to launch this? And obviously that generally takes money. So you need to think seriously about what are the expenses involved in starting a business. Are you going to have a brick and mortar store? Is it services, an online business? And what goes into those costs? So there's startup costs and then there's ongoing costs. Startup is just, how do I get it up and off the ground? So once you figure that, and I have talked to many clients that they have a great business idea. And that's kind of the fun part, to think about, what's my cool widget? People are going to love it, but they don't sit down and put pen to paper and think about, okay, here's exactly the laundry list of items that I will need to purchase, pay for, and what's that all-in number going to be? So clearly that's an important step. And then you need to really draw the distinction between what is a startup cost versus my ongoing financial model. So, and again, we can help you sort through those things. So your initial startup costs are, I have to pay, possibly an attorney to look at incorporation documents because I have 3 partners, or maybe it's not that complicated, but you're going to want to set up on Sunbiz. There's a cost for that. There's, do I need a computer? Do you need retail space? So all those things are initial startup costs, and you need to, again, make the distinction between those costs and then your going costs of your cost of goods sold. If you're selling a product, what do those costs look like, and what are you going to need to pay to support those sales? Again, we can help you think those things through, but we can also provide you with some very good tried and true resources that can help you with templates that are available that will guide you sort of step by step about what you should be considering. So once you sort of come up with a number and you understand realistically what your startup costs and what your ongoing financial model looks like, you need to think about, okay, where does this money come from? Maybe you luckily have that money. If you don't, can I get it from friends and family? Is additional VC capital possibly available? So we can also help you kind of think about the pros and cons of all those different types of sources of capital. So, most companies, ideally, startup companies are friends and family funded largely. or if not, they are funded from cash from operations. You know, you go sell something, you get paid, you put that money back into the business. Sometimes the costs to start up are higher, and the profit from the business isn't enough soon enough to cover those startup costs. So you need to go beyond maybe friends and family. There's mission-based lenders. We work with them consistently. We can help you navigate those waters and help you find people that potentially could help fund your business. Obviously, the Small Business Administration does funding. You can do, you know, that through banks or finance companies. There's crowdfunding, angel, venture. We have resources there that we can help you find those sources of capital.
So launching the business, actually getting it off the ground, you have to take these steps to incorporate, to launch it, to figure out if you're going to be a partnership, whatever it is. There are four major forms of business ownership. If it's you and you alone, it might be a sole proprietorship. A partnership is two or more people. A corporation is a legal entity with the authority to act and have liability apart from its owners. The first two that we've mentioned, I will tell you that the owners or the partners as a sole proprietorship or partnership are legally responsible for that business and anything that occurs, which is why a lot of businesses will form one of the last two, which is a corporation or a limited liability company. It also offers the protection to the owner from the personal liability. So there's lots of different things to think about as to how you want to form and actually launch your business. And those things we do recommend getting official consultation with a lawyer to help you navigate that, because every business is different. Depends on how far and how fast you want to grow. All kinds of things come into a play. Your partners, are they related or non-related? All of these things matter. So this is a very important step for you as you launch your business. Depending on your product, service, there are other structures that have advantages, and if to your personal liability, what kind of taxes you're going to need to pay, and the paperwork to file with the government. There are certain businesses that are regulated. If you're into hair care or nails or food or travel agents, all of those have additional regulations that are involved in starting a business. If you're a doctor, there are additional licensing involved. So these are the things that have to be considered as you are launching the business. Back again, as we were saying, if you're concerned and you do not know whether you've got to be covered by any of these other sources, then you should consult your attorney or accountant for guidance in this area. We also do have a chart that we can share with you, which gives the general traits that might help you get at least a little background knowledge so that you're more educated as you're talking with the legal and financial advisors. Okay. In the state of Florida, if you are looking to start a business, the first thing you want to do if you come up with your name is see if it's available. And our site for the state is called sunbiz.org. And it's a great website. It has beautiful resources, forms. It goes over all of the information, the regulations. If you decided you wanted what is known as a fictitious name or a DBA, you can check out there if those names are also taken. So do your research before you decide to start a business. Then the next step is you have to get your federal identification number. And honestly, you want that before you go back and register at Sunbiz, because it will ask you for that number. But you had to make sure the name wasn't taken before you go register with the federal government for your federal identification number. And we'll go on. So you can check out this website with the IRS and see it has tax forms, startup resources, information on how you get that federal identification number I just mentioned. And again, get that number first before you go back and register in Florida with sunbiz.org. And the biggest reason you need to do both of these things is when you go into a bank, they are not going to give you a checking account unless you have your federal identification number and your company registered with the Division of Corporations. So you'll need all of these things in order to get a loan, in order to do your tax filing, reporting. These are very important to the process of starting your business. We
Okay,
do
so
have,
go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
We've given you a lot of resources thus far on business models, business plans, registering and starting your business, but we have more for you. So in addition to the webinar resources that I discussed earlier, we have some specific information for on-demand trading videos. That link is here for you. It's a six-part startup webinar series. If you are ready to dive a little deeper, that link is provided here. And you can find us on YouTube. Again, there's multiple different topics that we touch on, not just startup start right. We delve deeper into specific retail business models, government contracting, marketing. Again, we're here to help from A to Z with small business. So we have all the topics covered in our online resources that we provide for you. If I would like to take the opportunity to ask as well if there's anything in particular that the folks on the seminar would like to see a topic for an online presentation. We are always expanding our repertoire, as it were, of what we bring to you. We're going to be launching something later this year on building business credit, which is something we have not done previously, but we've seen demand for that from our clients. So if there's any thoughts that anyone has online now, that would love to hear that in the chat. As Bonnie touched on earlier, there's, not only do you have to comply with the state regulations to start a business in Florida, you need to also consider your local municipality. So Monroe County has specific requirements. Miami-Dade has specific requirements. We can help you navigate all of that. And there's resources here for those different things as well. So I think with that, we would like to open up to questions that anyone may have. You can put that in the chat. Here is how you connect with us. There were QR codes presented earlier that can bring you to a website, but here's our direct information. So you can get us at those, online at those various locations and give us a call, and we're happy to help you in any way that we can. Anything you want to add to that, Bonnie?
No, the only thing I just want to remind anybody is that we do this at no cost for you. We want to help in our communities, and this service is what we do. And call us, use us. That's what we're here for, is to help make your life easier.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Oh, we have a question. Okay, Chris, a consultation about an AI startup. Very cool.
Okay.
So if you go ahead. If
Yeah,
you're
so
not, yeah.
we would love to talk to you about that. We have people that have background in tech, and we can help you work through that. So the next steps would be for you to register. It's a very, very quick and easy, painless registration process. It's 2 or 3 questions, and you'll be assigned to a consultant that fits your needs, and they'll reach out to you very quickly and set up an initial meeting to have a consultation. So I would just encourage you to do that.
the QR code on the screen is the form itself for your request for consultation.
Yep,
So
and
please,
Alexis also put the links in the chat.
yes. And if you're from a different area, they are all connected to a university. Okay. I think we can help you, Chris. So
I'm
we
sure we
will
can.
definitely follow up.
Okay, yeah, we will have your information through the registration for today's event. So you will get a call from Bonnie or myself right away. You're quite welcome. I'll fight you for that one, Bonnie.
All righty. Well, thank you very much, Chris, and everybody else online. We've had a pleasure presenting this for you and look forward to working with you.
Yep, thank you, everybody.